Okay, so today we're going on this incredible journey, one that takes us through more than 1,000 years of history. We're talking about the story of matcha and how it went from this ancient powdered tea to the global superstar it is today. Let's trace its path from quiet temples all the way to our bustling modern cafes. You've seen it, right? That vibrant green powder in your latte, your ice cream, your smoothie. It's literally everywhere. But the story behind that powder is so much richer and more fascinating than you probably imagine. So, before we get to the cafe, we've got to travel way, way back in time to where this whole thing kicked off. So, our first stop is ancient China. This is where the very first version of powdered tea was created. You can think of this as the seed from which the entire story of matcha eventually grows. We're talking about China's Song Dynasty, a period that lasted for over 300 years. During this time, a whole new way of enjoying tea started to take shape. And look, this wasn't just some casual drink. It became a really refined practice, especially popular with Zen Buddhist monks and the intellectual elite. This really set the stage for everything that was to come. So, what exactly was this proto-matcha? Well, the process was actually pretty straightforward. They'd steam the tea leaves, dry them out, and then grind them down into a superfine powder. Then they just whisk it with hot water right in a bowl. Sound familiar? It absolutely should, because this is the direct ancestor of the matcha we drink today. All right, now the story takes a really pivotal turn. The whole practice of drinking powdered tea is about to pack its bags, travel from China, and find a brand new home, all thanks to one very important guy. So picture this. It's the year 1191. A Japanese Zen monk named Eisai finally comes home after studying in China. And he didn't just bring back Buddhist teachings. He brought back tea seeds and, maybe more importantly, a powerful idea. He saw tea as way more than just a drink. To him, it was this crucial tool for meditation and health, a true tonic for body and mind that helped monks stay alert but calm during those long hours of practice. You really can't overstate how big a deal Eisai's influence was. He kickstarted serious tea farming in Japan and shouted from the rooftops about its health benefits. So he didn't just plant tea seeds, he was planting these cultural seeds that would allow tea to become deeply woven into the fabric of Japanese society. He was basically paving the way for a future ritual. Now, for centuries, the powdered tea in Japan was pretty similar to what they had in China. But then, Japanese growers made a revolutionary discovery that completely transformed it into something new, vibrant, and uniquely Japanese. So, the crucial innovation, the absolute game changer, was shading. Producers in Uji, Japan, perfected this technique where they'd cover the tea bushes for a few weeks right before the harvest. See, blocking the sunlight forces the leaves to produce more chlorophyll and this amino acid called L-theanine. And the result? A less bitter, sweeter, more savory umami flavor, and of course, that iconic electric green color. These special shade-grown leaves are called tencha, and they're the only leaves used to make real matcha. Okay, so with this brand new, incredibly refined tea powder, the stage was set for matcha to become so much more than just a drink. It was on the verge of being elevated into this profound cultural and spiritual practice. And the man who made it happen was Senno Rikyu. This guy was a legend. Back in the 16th century, this tea master basically wrote the rulebook for what we now know as the Japanese tea ceremony, or chanoyu. He shaped not just how matcha was prepared, but the entire philosophy behind it. Rikyu's genius was all about simplicity. He stripped the ceremony down to its absolute essence. You have a humble setting, very specific tools, and these precise, mindful movements. The spirit behind it all is wabi-sabi, a core Japanese idea about finding deep beauty in imperfection and simplicity. This whole philosophy turned the simple act of drinking matcha into a moving meditation. So, for centuries, matcha was at the heart of this formal tea culture in Japan. But in the modern era, its journey took another massive leap, this time out onto the world stage. And wow, did things accelerate. In the 20th century, it started popping up in Japanese sweets, which got some people in the West curious. Then, by the 90s, the first matcha lattes were appearing in cafes outside Japan. And then the last decade, forget about it. Social media, the global wellness boom, it just turned matcha into the superstar ingredient we know today. This really puts its modern identity into perspective. I mean, just look at this. A whopping 40% of matcha is now consumed in lattes. Add baking and smoothies to that, and you can see that the traditional ceremony, which was once its entire world, now represents just a tiny slice of its global use. That's a massive, massive shift. But, this kind of incredible popularity doesn't come without complications. As matcha's journey continues, it's starting to face a whole new set of pretty serious challenges. Yeah, matcha's modern fame is a classic double-edged sword. The boom is great. It brings global appreciation, incredible culinary creativity. But the strain is immense. This popularity creates intense pressure on a very delicate supply chain. The traditional, hands-on methods just struggle to keep up with demand. And now climate change is starting to damage harvests in Japan, leading to shortages and some pretty sharp price hikes. So, this is where we land. From a monk's quiet tonic in a temple to a trendy ingredient in a buzzing city cafe, matcha's journey has been a remarkable one. And it leaves us with a really critical question. As demand just continues to soar, can the ancient, meticulous craft that makes matcha so special in the first place truly survive its own overwhelming success? It's something to think about the next time you take a sip.